Supporting Your Child's Development After a Cancer Diagnosis by Jessica Seens. The first few years of your child's life are a time of major growth and development in which the foundation for social, emotional, and learning skills is laid. A cancer diagnosis and cancer treatment can disrupt the safe environment and routines that foster childhood development. This can cause distress, affect behavior, and temporarily delay or revert milestone progress. Emily McTate, Ph.D., a Mayo Clinic pediatric psychologist who specializes in oncology, explains how proactively supporting your child's development through cancer and cancer treatment can help them continue to thrive and lessen their distress. Cancer's effect on child development. Cancer and cancer treatment can affect your child's development, regardless of age. The impact on development varies depending on the age of the child. Some treatments, such as radiation, chemotherapy, and other drugs, can have long-term effects on memory, learning, concentration, and problem-solving, according to the National Cancer Institute. Dr. McTate says, for toddlers, the demands and expectations of cancer treatment add a layer of stress and confusion to learning how to navigate the world. 2- and 3-year-olds are supposed to be exploring their world and learning how to tolerate and regulate emotions. They're in the thick of autonomy exploration, so they want to be able to choose and do things themselves, says Dr. McTate. However, a hospital environment can limit a child's newly discovered autonomy and opportunities to build confidence and skills, which can frustrate them. Behavior is often the biggest indicator of how a toddler is feeling. We commonly see changes and disruptions in behavior, sleep, and moods, says Dr. McTate. We might see those things for older kids, too, but they're able to tell us how they're feeling as opposed to showing us through their behavior. We commonly see changes and disruptions in behavior, sleep, and moods. We might see those things for older kids, too, but they're able to tell us how they're feeling as opposed to showing us through their behavior. Emily McTate, Ph.D. Dr. McTate says some milestone regression is common for toddler-aged children, but it can still be distressing. Potty training, for example, is a huge accomplishment and develops confidence in children, but it's common for kids to become incontinent during cancer treatment because they're getting tons of fluids to flush out chemotherapy. All of a sudden, they're back in a diaper. That's really hard when you're 3 years old and you're so proud of yourself. If your child is older, they might struggle with needing to be more dependent on you than is typical and missing out on time with peers or activities they enjoy. As they become more aware of their bodies, they also may start to feel insecure about the physical changes cancer and cancer treatment can cause. Preparing for your child's changing needs. Partnering with a pediatric psychologist, a child life specialist, and/or a social worker can help you prepare for potential disruptions to your child's development before cancer treatment begins and throughout care. Dr. McTate says this is an important first step after diagnosis at Mayo Clinic. All newly diagnosed patients meet with pediatric psychologists within the first month or so, and we do a broad assessment and provide a lot of guidance. We want to know where your kiddo is in terms of development and get an understanding of their temperament. Part of pediatric psychological care involves educating parents about providing developmentally appropriate information to children. The more information kids have, the better they can cope with unpredictability and uncertainty, even if that information is really hard to hear, says Dr. McTate. We want kids to trust that their doctors and parents are being honest with them about what is going to happen. That includes being honest about the fact that there are some things we don't know. The more information kids have, the better they can cope with unpredictability and uncertainty, even if that information is really hard to hear. Emily McTate, Ph.D. As your child's main support system, you might need extra help to cope with this difficult time, so it's important to plan for your needs and know what to expect as a caregiver. Caregiver support is really important, and it looks different for every family, says Dr. McTate. Some caregivers might have pre-existing challenges with anxiety or mood that can worsen because of this huge life event. Some caregivers who haven't had concerns prior to this suddenly have challenges. In the context of a cancer diagnosis, the expected thing for a human brain to do is not feel normal. https://newsnetwork.mayoclinic.org/discussion/supporting-your-child's-development-after-cancer-diagnosis/. Please consider subscribing to this channel.